All right, we're gonna carve the little Tom Hindes horse now. Now, this is very, very thin wood. This is 1/2 inch, okay? Is what Tom is carving this out of. So we need to be very, very careful with 1/2 inch wood. Back here is the tail, so we're just gonna kind of run that up here with the tail on both sides. And then we have the head right in here that we're going to separate. But as I've said, please be very, very careful. This is a very small figure, and 1/2 inch is very small to work with. All right, well now I'm going to my smaller knife now because these are small figures, and I'm going to take it. We're going to remove a little wood in here. Okay. Take it. Oh, by the way, well, you know the way the grain should be running up the legs, just like that. All right. So we're not going to get into, but that's what. The way the grain should be running. All right, so we're going to work on the head a little bit. I find that this little smaller knife is a lot easier than a longer blade. This is only about a 1 inch blade on this knife, and I made this handle. It's a OCCT blade. And so I find, you know, it easier to maneuver, easier to work with, just because it's smaller. That's all. It's not that it's a greater knife than the Helvey I was using, because it's not. I mean, it's a good knife, great knife, but it's so much smaller, and that's why I made it so that I could use for smaller projects. So that's why I went to the smaller knife here. Okay, got that out of the way. All right, now, let's go ahead and separate our ears right here. Take the knife, come on each side, take that out right there. Cut several times. And then you can take that out, see? Right in the middle there. Okay, do it again, just a little bit. Take the... All right. Okay. Now, on the horse, we'll draw a little line right here. This is where the eyes are going to be up here. So we want to kind of bring this down just a little bit right here on both sides. Just kind of like that. All this in here. Okay. Then we want to come up here and we want to just kind of move a little bit of wood there. Move a little wood there. Just kind of like that. And we kind of bring the face. Now, we also have in here, have a little just a little part in here we just kind of bring down just a little bit. Sorry if you can't see that, where it move that in there. Okay, now we want to just kind of we just bring that down. With the horse. It's kind of all right. Just kind of take a little bit like that. Just down there like that. And the eyes are going to be in this area in here. So we're just going to kind of bring that up and deepen that just a little bit like that. Deepen it. There we go. Just like that. And we're going to come down here. We'll just kind of actually come the other way. Okay, see that? There we go. Okay. All right, we'll just kind of bring these ears up like this. We come across them. They're not quite that pointed. And let me come kind of forward here with these ears and cut them and separate them. Okay. We can cut back a little bit like that. Come over here and cut back a little bit like that on these ears. We can actually cut a little bit right in here. Right in here. Just kind of give them a look. All right, just so like that. And bring the ears forward. This one needs to come down a little bit more too. Very small, folks. This is very, very small. You want to be careful. Very small, very, very small pieces. We're just going to do this. Come in here and just make a little cut right here. There we go. Okay. Let me again bring that down. And this is where his eyes will be, in this area right here. Bring those back. Okay? Alright. Now let's kind of bring these down just a little bit. But be careful. This is very thin wood. Very, very thin wood. Alright. Let's go back here to the tail. Let's take a little bit off this tail back here. And go back to the tail. Alright, we're getting that tail down. I'm just going to flip that tail a little bit. I'm going to come down here to the bottom. Just going to make a cut right in there. There we go. See how that flips like that? Move the wood around there. Okay. And then you kind of do this little number. Just sort of come back here and just sort of cut along here. And you come along here and you want to draw these legs up like this, kind of come up like this. Kind of come up like that, and we want to make our cuts, of course, in there. Make our cut. And make our cut. See? Just like that, just like we did with the other ones. And come up here. Make our cut. Right there. Come up here. Make our cut right there. All right, now let's look at our horse. So he's pretty self-explanatory in the front here. And let's come up here and join this together. But he's thin. He's thin. He's only half an inch, so he's going to look pretty thin. He's going to look like a thin horse, okay? Huh. Now, what we want to do is we want to go on the legs, and just like here, we want to start taking a little bit off the legs, okay? On both sides. Now let's go ahead, before we start that, let's go ahead and make our little hoofs right in here. We're going to draw that little line in there. We're just going to kind of go back a little bit with a V-cut right in here. Kind of give that hoof look, okay? See that? We'll do it over here. Be careful though, this is very thin. And then we can kind of round that off or shape that. When I say round off, I mean shape a lot of times. Okay, just sort of like that. Do. And let's do that with the back leg. Let's come down here. Now be careful still with the grain here. Kind of look, yeah, I've got to bring that down even more. But before we do, let's do this. Let's draw our little thing back here, little hoof, as we say. And we're going to make a little cut back here. Make a little cut here. Let me come over here and do this. And we're going to shape this a little bit. Tom is I'm going to tell you something. I've known Tom a long time, who does these little figures. That's why I want you to buy his book. Tom is an excellent carver. He's made Noah's Arks. He's done things like that, and they are just wonderful. He's a lot better carving than me, I consider. And that's why, you know, I recommend people who, I've known him for a long time. He does his with a pocket knife. I'm not too crazy about using a pocket knife, but Tom is good at it, okay? It's kind of like these people that use box cutters and are great at them. Well, you just need to keep using box cutters, because I don't recommend a box cutter because I don't like the feel of the handle and all that other stuff. But I'm not saying they don't cut. But what I am saying is just the fact that a lot of these people that are experienced carvers, they've been using these things for a long time. So, and I just appreciate Tom's little figures that we can do. And he is good at them. And I do appreciate his time that he took to create this video, I mean his book and everything like that. Alright, now let's work on these legs. I want to just kind of clean them up a little bit in here. Alright, clean them up a little bit in here. bring this a little bit. Cut this in here. See how that back leg is? That needs to come down just a little bit more. So I'm going to do that, but I went ahead and made that cut before I brought the legs down, so it would be in there, so the leg wouldn't be thinner where I had to cut it. Now we're getting it down perfect. Alright. Now we don't have to do anything between the legs. I don't think we do. Yeah, I think Tom did cut this between the legs here. I think he did do that with this one. Okay, let's try it, okay? I don't have his book right now. It's outside. I mean, it's in the garage. So let's just go ahead and do it. I think he did cut. I think I did see that he cut in between these legs. So I'm going to do it. You can use a V-tool if you want. V-tool works good. I'll do it with a knife. But I do appreciate a chance to have his little figures that I can show people my way of carving them, or similar very way of carving them. I try not to worry too much about the flat plane that Tom does in this. I try to tell people don't worry so much about that. Just try to carve the figure first the way that you want it to look, and I think that you'll enjoy that. And then later, if you want to try the flat plane and all that stuff, you can try that. That will help immensely. So anyway, came in between the legs there, and we can go ahead and do it on the back here. Not inside the leg, but back of the leg right here. We can just go ahead and separate that a little bit underneath the tail. It's not a big deal.